this and
All right, guys. So welcome to Bacon, which is a Become a Consultant opportunity night. It's great for new consultants and for any potential recruits. Gives them the idea of what Scentsy is about and just gives that general foundation for anybody looking to be a consultant or who is new and has those questions. And going through our workstation can be a little hard to navigate and or overwhelming. When you're brand new, you're trying to get sales, you're, you know, trying to push as hard as you can and be a rock star. So this is just to give you the bare bones. That way you can thrive in your business and or make that decision for it. So topics we're going to cover tonight. I do have a few slides. So we're going to do introduction to Scentsy, history of Scentsy and how it all started with Kara and Colette. Those are important people to know besides Orville and Heidi, obviously. We're going to meet home office because you're going to see these people throughout your career with Scentsy. And then we're going to talk about the evolution of how Scentsy started and where it is now, types of consultants, so that you have a foundation of where to start if you're a hobbyist, commission titles and upline and what that all means to you. Scentsy lingo is very important. We all talk about in shorthand what things are. So it's a good idea to know what these mean. We're going to talk about shooting for the stars and awards that you can achieve with Scentsy. I'm going to give you an in-depth idea of what Scentsy's calendar looks like throughout the year and how we stay busy and helps with our PRV. Plus the incentives, that's a big thing. Scentsy gives out wonderful incentives. So it's good to know what those are and what they're about. All right. So the introduction to Scentsy, we started out with just plain warmers and wax. And if anybody's ever tried anything, you've really come to love the products. And you decide, I can make money doing this, or you just want to be a consultant that just wants to earn money back from their own purchases. Scentsy is a wonderful company. They strive to be the best family-oriented business out there. It's all about the customers and the consultants. So let's start off with the history of Scentsy. Scentsy actually started with Kara and her sister-in-law Colette in Salt Lake City in 2013. We had a really good idea about warming scent with a light bulb. Orville Thompson was at an event and he had seen their setup, and being a struggling entrepreneur, and he is very honest about this, he's done several businesses, he was at a fair, he loved the idea, he actually brought it back to Heidi, they talked about it. Orville took interest in their wickless candle company, and a few months later he and his wife were sitting down at their couch signing documents, and Kara and Colette were their first consultants. It's just an amazing to think of that. In July 1st of 2004, they moved the company headquarters, because they'd been in Salt Lake, to Meridian, Idaho, and that is where Scentsy Commons is. They relaunched Scentsy using a multi-level marketing distribution model, only because Orville and Heidi agreed that this is a home run business. This is where you get the product quickest to the customer, and they need to experience it, since he's all been about experience. And that's where we continue even so many years after they sat down on that couch. In 2008, Scentsy acquired Scentsy Success, which was running our marketing. And so they are now in the fold with us. In 2009, they expanded to Canada, which was a major milestone for a small little company that started out in a shipping container, where Heidi's mom, Alice, made cord wax. His brother Chuck helped. They were hand labeling stuff for consultant orders. Then in 2011, we expanded to the UK and Germany, and that was another major milestone for us. That made it cross borders, that gave us more people to reach to. It wasn't just, a Northern American item. In the same year, we became America's top 100 most promising companies. In 2008, again, we made the list of America's best mid-sized employers. In 2021, we opened Rock Hill in South Carolina. That was a big step again because we'd only had pretty much one distribution, and now we have Texas. We have 3 just in the Northwest. We also have expanded to Australia and New Zealand in that time. We're in Mexico. It's breathtaking how far this company has come and how humble our CEOs really are. So let's go ahead and start meeting them. This is home office. So Heidi and Orville are going to be right here. They're our CEOs and co-owners. Then they are currently on a church mission, and they are in the UK. They will be back in 24 of July 20. So that's really good to know. At the moment, Dan Orchard is our interim CEO and president. He doesn't end a month live, and you will see him at reunions. You also see him at any incentives we have. He joined in 2009. He moved to the UK in 2016 to help promote the transition with the UK and be there at ground level. He's been very instrumental in that. In 2018, he moved to Australia to help launch Australia, New Zealand, and be that forefront for us. When Orville and Heidi,
we're going to take you up to our room,
received their call for their church, Dan stepped in. And a backstory to that, and Dan's very honest about that. He wanted his youngest to be born in Australia. And unfortunately, Orville and Heidi brought this to them. So they had to move. So then that brings us to Chuck. Chuck is Orville's brother. He started in 2006. He is our Chief Consultant Engagement Officer. So you will see him just as much as anybody else out there. He loves to post things on Facebook. He loves it when you come up and talk to him, and he will talk to you forever if you give him the opportunity. And then brings us to Debbie Mobin. She started in 2017. She's with Hewlett Packard before. Oh, I'm sorry. Debbie started as a Chief Consultant Development Officer. You will see her at reunion. She is so much about developing us as consultants. She is an amazing woman, and I adore absorbing everything from her. Then that brings us to Kevin Kirkpatrick, Chief Strategy Officer. You'll see him at reunions as well. He does our day-to-day things, getting stuff ready for us. And then that brings us to Lindsay Randolph. She is our Chief Creative Officer. She joined us in 2017, leaving her job at Disney. Anything you see with our catalogs, any of our LTO stuff, any demonstrations and all that has her magic touch to it. She is our creative guru. She sets the tone for our catalog. So that's why every season you see such magical things, and she's always on the touch of what's going on. At the end here, oops, sorry. That brings us to Annie Price, our Field Touch Points VP. She oversees all points of contact with consultants, including consultant support, events, recognitions, incentive, and overall field communication strategy. She's a wonderful woman, and you will see her at reunion. She will be talking along with everybody else. And that brings us to our training gurus, one of our favorite spots. And our first spot is Lacey Hansen. She and Dan Orchard always do an end of month live. She's sometimes missing, but she always loves to give us little sneaks. Then we have Sarah Walker. Sarah is our Tuesday consultant training where you tune in and she gives us little topics to help us with our business for the theme of that month. Then we have Jason. Jason does Thursday trainings. He'll tell you that he was an introvert, and doing all of this has made him Very wild and zany. He's worth a listen.
I found this on the web.
Evolution of Scentsy. Evolution of Scentsy has come so far from warmers and wax. We have expanded to cleaning, laundry, buddies for your kids. We have car bars, we have scent circles, we have diffusers, we have air purifiers, we have oils, we have stuff for the body. We even have LTO partnerships with different companies. At the moment, we currently have Disney, NHL, NFL, Warner Brothers. The list continues to expand to European soccer. The world's the limit for us because we take such good care of all of our LTO partnerships and respect in every single one of them. So we're very proud to continue our relationships with them. Types of consultants. So I always start off with, you always start as an essential consultant. As soon as you sign up, you're going to be essential. Once you get your $1,000 PRV, that's going to bring you certified and you get to keep that title and it gets you a 5% bump. Then you move on to your lead, your star consultants, your superstar consultants. And then at the very end, you have your directors, your superstar directors. And I always call them the lifers. They're the ones that are full tilt. I'm not saying that leads aren't. I'm saying the directors are the ones who got team under them and they're in there to make the difference. So let's talk about a little bit of backbone of what it all means to join. We get paid on the 10th of the month. Essentials start out at 20% of your PRV, which is personal retail value. Then certified and up have a permanent of 25% once you hit that $1,000. That never goes away. You can also earn commission off a lead and up with active recruits. You earn a percentage of each teaming. I always like to start off with Scentsy Basics. In our workstation, we have a news tab that is updated on Thursdays, but it is pertinent to check it every day because sometimes they update the information before Thursdays because there's things we need to know. Sometimes an LTO, which is limited time offer, won't be available when they need to, or something goes out of stock or there's a delay. These are things we need to relay. They need to relay to us so we can run our business as best as we can. LTOs are generally released on Tuesdays unless they have other things going on. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. So Scentsy lingo. There's a lot going on. This is just the basics to get you started. And I know it's a little overwhelming, but these are the basics to get you in the know a little bit. So titles, EC, whenever you see that, is essential consultant. We have LC, which is our lead consultant. When you see SC, that's a star consultant. That means they have a few people under them and they get that PRV going. And they're right under a director. A director is somebody who has a number of members under their team and they are striving for the world. When you see DQ, that means that a director did not meet the current requirements in a 3-month period to continue with the director title. You do come down in title if you do not maintain it. Then you'll see SD, which is a star consultant or star director. They have a number of directors under them and it boosts them up to star director. And superstar director at the moment is the top. That could change as we expand. And a few years ago, SSD wasn't a thing. There was only star consultants. So in my time here, we have definitely seen us expand and it's very exciting. Offers. So this one where LTO is a limited time offer. We talk about those a lot. Club. It is a customer-based subscription that they get themselves. It's just like those other ones you see with other companies, but these ones are handpicked by the customers themselves. And they can choose 1, 2, or 3 month subscriptions and it will process when they decide to. They can even skip it and or take things out of their subscription that they want. So they have free reign over it. We have whiff boxes, which is Scentsy controlled. They get to pick a mystery box every month to the season. It's hand curated. It's always at a set price, whether or not the items in there at the bare minimum will be that set price. And we know how Scentsy always likes to take care of us. it is more PRV. It's worth more than what you and a customer will pay. So SOTM is the scent of the month. Every month we have the option, they give us the option of a new fragrance that is discounted 10% off for customers to try. WOTM is a warmer of the month. Same exact concept. We get a warmer of the month, and you can actually add that to a subscription for yourself, and you receive PRV on that. For regions, US, Canada, and Mexico is region 1. When you watch the end of the month and on our workstations, they talk about different things that are going to be released. UK is region 2, and region 3 is going to be Australia and New Zealand. Because we have different releases, an example, Australia and New Zealand are in different seasons than us. Sometimes we receive things before them, and then we flip when the catalog changes. So they will get summer, and then we will get winter, and then we will flip-flop. So those are things. Some things are not available in different regions due to shipping issues, and it's good to know your region so you can keep up on the news on that. So then we have basics. Active is 200 PRV in a month, in the same month, from the 1st to the end of the month, whether that be the 30th, the 31st, or the 28th. You have to be considered active. It is 200 PRV in that month. Being active in that month makes you a consultant for a year until that month that you made that 200 PRV. Downline, it is any recruit underneath you. Frontline is who you've personally sponsored. Downline could be your sponsors, your person you sponsored, who they sponsored, if that makes sense. So they would be down the tree. Upline is going to be your sponsor and above. So that will include a director, star director, or superstar director, depending on your sponsor's title. Ordering. So there's 3 different ways somebody or you can order. You can do it on the workstation and make a party, and you will have individual order people put in that order, and you will collect rewards. Another way is our PWS, which is our personal website. That one, it's recommended for when you are going after LTOs, when the Scentsy does their flash sales, which are only available on our PWS, which is $15 a month at this point. It may change. That's the only place you can get flash sales. It's also a good idea when they do releases on Monday to do a bulk order if you are ordering a ton and it's just simple for you to go in and you cannot close a party. Or you can do an individual order in our workstation or the PWS. And if you don't attach it to a party, it will not include rewards for you. And we'll get into that. So once you place an order, you'll see it on your workstation. It will say posted. That means you'll say the date, order number for Scentsy. It will have a party if there is one and or a name. It will say how it's placed. And then in the far right, we'll have posted. Posted means that you've placed the order and they're pending the processing of the payment. Processing. Process. It means that they've accepted your payment and it is in the shipping system and it's going to stay there. Posted. That means it's gone into shipping and it's now on their system and it's waiting their turn to be a printed label so they can get your items packaged. Printed. Just as that explains it, it is shipping the label and the order sheet for you for our shipping department, who are absolutely fantastic. And they're going to get that to you. And once you see shipped, it means it's shipped, but there's a few little tweaks on that. Partial back order means that they have some items they can ship to you right away. Some items have not. And so they're going to force ship the items they have in stock and they're waiting on something to come in. Back order. That means the entire order that you order doesn't have anything to ship and therefore it is waiting on inventory to come. So in your first 15 days, you have the opportunity for Shooting Star. And what that means, you place an order of 500 PRV and you do your first thing checklist. And then once you get that process within the first 15 days, you can earn the option of purchasing an enhancement kit for $200, which I'm telling you is worth more than $200. You also receive a charm and a pin. Your sponsor receives a $25 credit for you receiving Shooting Star. So that's an incentive for them as well. But the incentive for you is to get sent to your customers and establish a customer base. Another option for you is what we call a sensational start 1, 2, or 3. It's within your first 70 days, and on your workstation, it'll show you where you're at in your days. But I've listed level 1, if you do 1,500 PRV or the 500 from your Shooting Star, and you get an active recruit, you earn a $50 product credit plus the option of earning the enhancement kit. You get a sensational pin and award or an award. I personally choose pins. And the pin for Shooting Star. That also gives you a ribbon at SFR. Same thing with 2 and 3. And it shows you that at level 2, you can also have the option of a warmer. Level 3, you earn everything plus more product credit, all the pins, the awards, the warmer, and a special trophy. Level 3, I recommend for anybody to shoot for, because if you land between the next 3, that is still a major accomplishment, and it's something to be celebrated. Awards, something Scentsy has really had a core value with about making sure we are recognized, and it's an amazing opportunity. So here's a few of them that I've looked at. Your monthly sales, if you have 2,000 in PRV in a month, you earn an extra 5% bonus, plus you get a charm and or a pin, which is fantastic just by selling, which is amazing. Something they don't have to do, but it's a nice little bonus. You get 5% of your total PRV. Lifetime PRV award. So every time you hit a milestone between 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, you earn a ribbon for reunion, and you also get a pin and or charm for a bracelet. Annual mentor award. If you recruit 14 people in the beginning of May 1st to April 30th, you receive a trophy. Not only that, you get $25 per certified consultant in that time and $50 for lead consultants. Annual sales. If you hit 30,000 PRV in the year from May 1st to September 30th, you get $1,000 plus a trophy, and your name is up on SFR. It's amazing. So here is a typical calendar for Scentsy. I did not include everything because I don't want to give a lot of things away, because I don't know, but this has been a staple for Scentsy for a number of years. In January, we have Bring Back the Bars, which is another thing where consultants and customers vote on scents that have been discontinued that will come back for a limited time for that month. Sometimes they expand it. We've seen it this year. They expanded it for another month, but that is not typical. We also have a release of the Valentine's Day bundle, which will bring us into February. February is 10% off the fall winter catalog because we're going to be transitioning. We also start a spring incentive, and we'll get into that spring incentive in just a moment. March brings us a new catalog, all those spring, summer scents, and all the things that are amazing with that. April is our Easter collection. May is Mother's Day. June is Bring Back the Bars, the second round of those that are new scents that we have voted on in January. And we have Father's Day. July brings our summer collection, which is always amazing. And we have Scentsy Family Reunion, which is a must. It's where everybody from your region gets together and we get to learn what's coming in the fall winter catalog, which is super heavy with LTOs. It is amazing because August is 10% off. And then we have September, which is our new catalog, which will start our harvest collection. October brings in our harvest collection as well. November, you see our holiday collection / Christmas, which brings us into a limited edition warmer we bring out every year. And then December, we have bricks and extra little LTOs sprinkled in as well. Once you reach leadership, when you reach director, you have the option of a retreat for leaders, which is held in January. It's only for directors and director Qs. It is beachfront views, so you'll need your passport. I do know generally they take you to Mexico, which is fantastic. It's worth working your butt off just for Mexico. It's amazing. Also, once you reach director, they have a boot camp they hold in April and October, and it's held at headquarters at Scentsy Commons, where you get to mingle with all of home office and you get that one-on-one and you get a real sense to be with your other directors and build those relationships with them. When you receive Star Director, you have the opportunity in October to go back to Scentsy Commons to do Summit Approach. There's a lot more training, a lot more fun. They do a few-day workshop and you get to see a lot of amazing things. This is where you will probably, just like at the Treat for Leaders, you will sign an NDA. So you get all the sneaks for what's coming out, which who wouldn't want to know? Once you receive Superstar Director in April, you go back to Scentsy Commons and work with home office themselves and really work on stuff like for the catalogs and what can help us as consultants. And they really take those notes in stride. Incentives. So I talked about incentives. Incentives are amazing. So we have a spring summer one, which starts in February, generally ends in July, though they could change that on us. Typically they don't. It's always a 3-part incentive. You generally have 2 months to complete each part of the incentive before they do the next step. It's one of those gears up for fall winter incentive as well. And it's just little, what they call brick by bricks, where you can earn 1, 2, or 3, or all 3. It is geared for you to really focus on your own business and learn your strengths and weaknesses to give you the opportunity to learn and grow. It's fantastic. And I generally tell everybody to push as hard as you can, because pushing yourself, taking yourself out of your comfort zone is what makes a difference. If you always stay in 10 miles per hour, you're not going to get there very fast and you're not going to learn. Fall winter is what I call the intense one. That is one that is going to be PRV and recruit heavy. And the reason I say that, because you earn trips. Not only can you earn trips, you can earn registration to SFR, which is normally level 1. Level 2, 3, 4, or 5, depending on what it is, you can earn different locations, or they have been known to take us to the most magical place on earth, and you earn spots for family members. Who wouldn't want to take your family to the most magical place on earth on Scentsy's dime? And believe me, Scentsy likes to spoil you. The things I've seen on trips are out of this world. You get little drops, little things to help you along your journey, to have those memories and just to talk about it, and to have a little backpack or some ears, or you have special dining, and you will see home office, they are mingling with you. They're not shy. They will remember you, which is fantastic. So this is where I ended. If you have any questions, do reach out. We absolutely would love to answer all of them for you. I enjoyed my time with a little sneak with you. I hope you enjoyed it as well. For now, I'm saying good night. Okay, woman, you better end that.